Alright, let's look at the homework 6.2, problem number 4. Alright, so we want to find the volume of a solid of rotation obtained by rotating the region between y equals 5 plus secant of x and y equals 7 between negative pi over 3 to positive pi over 3 and rotate about the axis of rotation, which is y equals 5. Right? So let's find the region first. Right? So 5 plus secant of x. So secant of x about around x equals 0 is going to be a, it's like a bowl. All right. Then you're adding 5, so it's going to go up 5 units. So and it's also facing up. So the first picture is not correct, and the last picture is not correct because it's facing down. Right. So it's going to be a second or third one. Right. So it's going to go through 6. Both pictures are correct. Then y equals 7 is right there. Right? Y equals 7 is right there. So we should shade the region enclosed by y equals 7 and 5 plus secant of x. So which is going to be the second picture. Right? So second picture is the correct picture. All right. Then we rotate it about y equals 5. Which is given here at the dotted line. So you can see that this is going to be, right, let's see. So you have a flat top and a curved bottom. So if you rotate that, you see that either first one or the third picture, right? But let's see, this one, it's rotated about 7 and this looks pretty good. Rotated about, this is 5, so it's actually, we are rotating about 5, right? So let's see, this picture looks promising. This one, let's see, y equals 7. So here, this is not rotated about the right location, so looks like this is going to be the right picture. So y equals 5 is the axis of rotation. And we are rotating this region right here. So you get a washer there. All right. So I'm going to steal this picture and then try to set up a washer method to find the volume. All right. So let's set up the washer method here. So volume is equal to, all right, so you have an integral from, all right, so it looks like it's going to go from negative pi over 3 to positive pi over 3. All right, then let's see, we have to have a pi in front, so let's not forget that. Then we want to have outer radius squared, so I'm going to use a capital R squared. Then minus. We're going to have inner radius squared, so lowercase r squared. And then with respect to x. Alright, so outer radius is actually fairly easy to find because you're going to start from 5. And then here is going to be 7. So between 5 and 7, so it's actually radius is constant. It's going to be 2. And squared, right? And then inner radius, so we have to look at this curve here. So we're going from axis to the inner radius here, which is determined by 5 plus secant of x. So distance is 5 plus secant of x minus 5. So that's just going to be a secant of x. So you have a secant of x squared. All right, then what you get is going to be, so here's a pi, and then you have here. All right, secant is even function, and let's see, 2 squared constant is also even function. You're going from negative pi over 3 to pi over 3. So using symmetry, we can just, instead of going from negative pi to over 3 to positive pi over 3, I'm going to just do a half of it. Then double it later, because you're going to have the same thing on the other side too. Alright, so then you're going to have, let's see, this is 4 minus secant squared of x dx. And this is going to give us, there's a 2 pi. Alright, antiderivative of 4 is 4x. Antiderivative of secant squared would be tangent. And you're going from 0 to pi over 3. Alright, so you have a 2 pi. And let's plug in pi over 3. So you have a 4 pi over 3 minus, right, tangent of pi over 3 would be, let's see, pi over 3 is 60 degrees, right? Tangent of 60 degree would be square root of 3. So square root of 3 minus, and plug in 0, 4 times 0 is 0, minus tangent of 0 is actually 0 as well. Right, so we just get here 2 pi 4 pi over 3 minus square root of 3. Alright, so this is the volume of the solid we're interested in. Alright, so let's type it in. Alright, so we got, let's see, maybe this is not the right one. Alright, so we have, let's see, we have 2 pi times 4 pi over 3 minus square root of, was it 3? Let's see, let's go here, square root of 3. Alright. Alright, so let's double check. Submit for testing. Alright, I came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.